Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be addressing something very infuriating, like very annoying that Nigeria participates in. Now we have a headline here. From Punch, Nigeria. OMICRON. Lagos to begin errant inbound passengers prosecution to curb spread. Now, what are they trying to say? They're trying to say that, okay, people coming into Nigeria from outside Nigeria, if you enter the country, even if you are a Nigerian, which of course most people tend to be, now, even if you are a Nigerian coming from outside, coming back to your country, and you don't present yourself to constant test, that is, you have to get tested according to the article, you need to get tested the second day of your arrival and the seventh day of the new variant of COVID-19 that everybody's speaking about, everybody's yelling about, everybody's talking about all over the world. If you watch CNN, you see people yelling, screaming, complaining, almost like there's an apocalypse happening, almost like the world is coming to an end because of Omicron. Now, you have to understand that all these people, think about it. If what you are saying, a lot of people always say this kind of thing, that bad news sell, good news doesn't sell, right? The reason why bad news sells is that people are more, like, there's something about we human beings. We are very self-preservatory, which means if something is going to harm your health, you are more likely to listen to that. Okay, think about this scenario. Somebody tells you there is a lion in the corner, there's a lion loose around here. You are going to be more likely to listen to that than somebody say, oh, there's a Father Christmas around. Now, maybe for kids, they might be more interested in Father Christmas around, but like knowing that there is an active threat around you gets your attention immediately. And what do those media companies, the media companies, what do they really want? CNN and all these news companies all around, ABC, CBC, BBC, all of them, Sky News, what are they really interested in? The thing that they are very interested in is your attention. They want you to focus on them because the more you watch them, the more they have, they have more audiences and they can charge more for what? For advertising. Almost every single show on all those big television stations, they have a lot of advertising that they do. All those commercial breaks, it rakes in a lot of money for them. And the more the people watching the channels, the more they can charge for all those things. So if they can have juicy stories, like wonderful stories that are going to glue people, even if those stories are bad news, generally speaking, but as long as those stories can glue people to their channels, that is what they want. Now, let us see. We all understood what they did last year. Everybody's screaming about COVID-19, as if COVID-19 was going to bring the end of the world. Now, after the Alpha variant, the major variant, the original variant that came from Wuhan, we've had several different other variants. Some have gone global. Some have been kind of regional. There was one in India. There was one in Brazil, like the Brazilian variant, and different other versions that were not all that successful in colonizing the entire world in a way, so to speak. But then we had Delta variant. So from around the middle of this year, 2021, till maybe last month, around, let's even say maybe around October, all we heard was just Delta variant, Delta variant, Delta variant. A lot of people were like, what's even this Delta variant? It just means a mutation of the original variant of the virus. And this one was able to spread a lot more than the others. So than the original variant, it could spread a lot more. And one thing that you need to pay attention to is that it could evade even if you have taken the vaccine. No matter what the type of vaccine you might have taken, this variant was able to infect you. And obviously, even the original variant could infect you even with the virus, just that it was not that possible. But with the Delta variant, you having two shots, that is having the first shot of the vaccine and the second one, that's the first dose and the second dose, does not necessarily prevent you from getting the Delta variant. You could still get the Delta variant just like other people. It's just that you are less likely to get ill like seriously ill or get admitted in a hospital or die from it. But generally speaking, the vaccine does not protect you from getting the virus. And that's what many people don't really understand. So many people clamoring for, the immunization, making it compulsory for everybody. They don't bring this into consideration. The fact that many of the infections that you get from COVID-19 these days can actually evade these vaccines. So even if you have taken boosters, that is, you have taken another shot, the third one, it does not necessarily mean that you will not get COVID-19. So why are we disturbing ourselves? So now, what you're talking about, even in this case, most of those people entering the nation that they are talking about in this article have been vaccinated already. Most of them have been vaccinated already. And yet, if you are not presenting yourself for the government to test you at least twice in 7 days, you're supposed to undergo a set or what we call it. They call them mobile courts. You will be prosecuted over that. Does it make any sense whatsoever? Again, taking the vaccine does not prevent you from getting COVID-19 at this stage. And not only that, getting tested does not really do anything anyways. It does not. Because the virus is in the country. So I don't even know what you are trying to protect outside. Even the Omicron, the new version of the virus, the new one, is already in the country. I don't know what we are complaining about. It's already in the country. And it's even, much more than the Delta variant, it is less dangerous than the Delta variant and even the Alpha variant. In fact, till date, it is the most mild variant of COVID-19. So if you get the Omicron version of the COVID-19, you are less likely to even fall sick at all, let alone being admitted in the hospital for whatever reason. To this very moment, it's been weeks now since the Omicron version of the COVID-19 has been discovered in South Africa, and there is no definitive death recorded for a case of Omicron infection in anybody. Throughout the world, there are like tens of countries that have already recorded the Omicron variant, and almost no one has died from it. Just think about it. Everybody's yelling about something, and after weeks, almost nobody has died from this version of the virus that everybody's screaming about. Almost nobody has died from it. Does it make any rational sense? It does not make any rational sense. And I'm not just speculating. These are things that many of these health institutions, global health institutions, have already confirmed. Even the doctor that discovered the Omicron version of this virus, the Omicron variant in South Africa, made it very clear that almost all their patients that they have with Omicron are doing well. They don't have severe illnesses. They just have mild symptoms. And that's all. That the Omicron variant has taken over the whole of South Africa, and they are not having people falling seriously sick despite that. Isn't that something to be happy about? Even if you are someone that is scared of COVID-19, are you not supposed to be happy that we now have a variant? Yes, it is more contagious, that is, it spreads more, and which means it is going to take over most of the infections of COVID-19, completely routing out Delta variant and, of course, any other variant that is available, which means the dominant variant you're going to have for COVID-19 is the variant that is very likely to just be like you having a common cold, sneezing, having a little bit of a headache, and, just mild body pain or something like that, and you're over it. Not something serious, not something that's going to get you down or anything like that. Are we not supposed to be happy over that? Aren't we supposed to be happy? Because I don't understand the reason why governments all over the world are screaming and yelling and complaining about the Omicron case, on the Omicron variant, when it is posing virtually no threat to anybody. I don't understand why. Again, I'm telling you, even if you've gotten vaccinated 200 times, you can still get this variant. So you are not actually doing anything by testing and over-testing all these people. Whether you like it or not, the thing spreads easily. vaccinated, tested, it does not matter. It spreads very, very easily. It's just like saying that somebody that has a cold, sneezing and whatever like that, comes into Nigeria and you are starting to test the person. If the person doesn't come for test 2 times in a week, you are going to do what? You are going to withhold the person's passport, because that's actually one of the punishments there that they're going to undergo. They're going to withhold the passport of the person. The person won't be able to travel out of the nation for a whole year. Just think about that. Does it make any sense? Absolutely not. And one of the things I understand is this. Part of the reason why Nigeria is doing this rubbish is because they are trying to measure up to all those crazy Europeans and Americans that are going completely berserk over COVID. Generally speaking, who in Nigeria gives a crap about COVID? Nobody. I've been saying this thing for months right now. Ask an average Nigerian. Nobody cares about COVID. In fact, there are a lot of people in Nigeria that at this very moment are not even aware that there's still COVID-19 pandemic around the country or around the world, because it's not something that affects our daily life over here. If you were living in the United States, living in all those European countries and wherever, in Australia, all you are going to be concerned about is COVID. For the past 1.5 years, it's always COVID. How is it possible that Africa has been able to live conveniently without this stupid COVID crisis? At least not everybody panicking over COVID. And yet, the people in power, they just want to copy all those Europeans so that they won't be left out of the cool club. They will not be left out of the club of the enlightened. They will not be left out of the club of the responsible nations and the responsible leaders and all of those things like that, so that they can be respected when they go for the UN assembly and they go for the union meetings, all those meetings that they have with the big countries and all of that. That is part of the reason why they are doing this. It doesn't make any practical sense whatsoever. I mean, even our leaders, I understand they have no backbones, but the thing is, many of them are not stupid. They actually understand that this thing is not a big deal to Nigerians, and it is not even a big deal to they themselves, but they just need to play the game. They need to play the game. That's essentially what they are doing. They need to play the game. So what I'm trying to say is that this is just political posturing, and it's just them playing games with what they are talking about. You come into the country and you're not presenting yourself for this humiliating test and all of that. It means it's a game. It's a game trying to show off to those countries that, oh yes, we are more responsible here, we are responsible, and all of those things like that. I get it, but it is not enough for you to inconvenience Nigerians within their own countries, for you to inconvenience Nigerians coming back to their own nation. So that's basically the way I see it. Honestly, it's not something that should be. That's just what I'm going to say about that. Anyway, thank you very much, everybody. I will be seeing you in the next video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Just down there below, click on the subscribe button. Click on the notification bell also. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, like and follow. And always Nigeria Unsealed on all platforms. See you guys.